Hey guys, welcome back to another Battlefield 6 news video, and today we have quite a few things to talk about. First of all, we got this community update right here that talks about Railway to Golmud again, ranked BR, and some more changes that we can expect to see in Season 3. In addition to this, we also got some more like before and after pictures of Golmud Railway, and we got like a smaller leak or data mining from Temporal, but that's what we're going to talk about last. First of all, we're going to look into this new community update. First of all, the devs are writing that they've been overwhelmed with the positive feedback to the roadmap that they had shared 2 weeks ago. If you haven't seen this yet, click the link in the info box and watch the video. Season 3 will launch on May 12th, so that's roughly, well, 1.5 weeks from now. And now we're getting a little bit more insight on what we can expect to see in Season 3. So first of all, they focus on improving the core experience of the game, which includes a lot of work around the combat feel, the responsiveness, and the readability. And alongside of these improvements, we can also expect to see some, well, exciting new content, as they call it, which is Golmud Railway, so the reimagination of Golmud Railway, and ranked Battle Royale. At least that's the stuff that they're naming here. We know there's more to come because we already talked about it, but that's what's basically part of this community update. So Golmud Railway, or Railway to Golmud, because they also renamed it, will be the largest Battlefield 6 map to date. It is 4 times the size of Murak Valley and is designed to deliver a true large-scale all-out warfare experience. It was first introduced in Battlefield 4, is now reimagined, and while they want to stick to what made the original memorable, they also did a number of adjustments to improve gameplay flow, balance, and overall experience. And a few examples for this are that the train, that is one objective as well, and that is moving, will now move towards the enemy HQ instead of the HQ of the team that is capturing it. They also improved the cover on the map. They improved, well, the lanes between the objectives. They improved the airspace, so especially jets have more space to maneuver and so on. But I already talked about all of this in a former video, so be sure to check this out as well. But you can also see the side-by-side comparisons here that should give you an idea of what the developers have changed compared to the Battlefield 4 version. Now, next up in the community update are gameplay improvements that we can expect to see in Season 3. So during Season 2, they already made a number of improvements to hit registration, netcode, and overall combat readability. And now with Season 3, they want to build up on this and work with additional updates that are aimed at making combat feel more responsive, readable, and consistent. What this means is that we can expect clearer communication of incoming damage, faster feedback when taking damage or being eliminated, and overall improvements to how engagements play out in fast-paced situations. They're also continuing to evaluate weapon behavior and time to kill, and here the focus is specifically on improving consistency and depth and making it more demanding to hit targets at longer ranges while encouraging more controlled and deliberate engagements. And as a part of this, they're making adjustments to recoil behavior across inputs, including reducing how much recoil is automatically mitigated on controller, helping to bring consistency across different control schemes. Alongside of this, they will also keep testing combat-focused updates in Battlefield Labs, and this includes continued improvements to hit registration and netcode, as well as targeted improvements to soldier visibility. And additionally, they're also exploring new ways to better communicate weapon behavior, which includes experimental features that help visualize dispersion while aiming down sights. But they're not specific as to what this means, and we don't get any pictures or short clips what they're actually talking about. Some of these improvements will be rolled out at the beginning of Season 3, and others will first be refined through Battlefield Labs and will then be rolled out later in the season or in future seasons. However, what we can definitely expect to see are Mortar Changes, and here they're writing that they want to reinforce its identity as a team play focused tool. So following this season's changes, where you can now place the mortar within your HQ, they're now making adjustments to how mortars are resupplied from crates and increase the resupply time from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. And we can also see further improvements, which means that mortars no longer regenerate ammo while an active instance is deployed, and accuracy decreases at longer ranges, which is supposed to discourage long distance camping. So basically what we're seeing right now, where people are sitting in their HQ and are focusing on bombing objectives. Additionally, we will also see vehicle updates in Season 3, and these updates will focus on improving how vehicle combat feels moment to moment, to making engagements easier to read. Then outcomes will be more consistent or made more consistent, and they want to make controls more responsive. But they're not sharing any details here. They're just writing that they are sharing a dedicated deep dive blog on what the team has been working on soon, so probably next week. Then the next topic is the ping system that will also be improved again with Season 3. And here they're writing that pinging will be more responsive and consistent with reduced input delay and fewer situations where pings are unintentionally cancelled. Interacting with the ping system will be simplified, allowing you to quickly mark enemies, objectives and locations without needing multiple inputs. In addition to this, danger and location pings will be streamlined to use the same shape, which is supposed to reduce visual clutter on the screen. Moving on, we have matchmaking, which is also a topic in Season 3. And here they're specifically writing that with the introduction of ranked Battle Royale, they will be closely monitoring how matchmaking performs across these experiences. And their focus is on ensuring that players can consistently find matches while maintaining a quality gameplay experience. They also continue to evaluate how different playlists and experiences perform over time and how that impacts overall match quality. And as mentioned in the roadmap, they're also working on features like a server browser and persistent servers. And then they're also sharing how playlist structure will change. So they shared this start screen right here that we can expect to see in Season 3. We won't see any major visual changes though, but we should notice a shift in how the content is organized and presented. So the featured row is being replaced with a new quick play row that highlights modes and experiences based on your play history and preferences. They're also reorganizing the multiplayer row to make it easier to navigate and reduce the need for horizontal scrolling, while separating core options like custom search, featured modes and single mode playlists from mixed mode experiences. And with the addition of ranked Battle Royale, they're also introducing a new ranked row to better highlight this competitive play. And lastly, they're also making a number of improvements to Battle Royale and Gauntlet. And for Battle Royale specifically, they're focusing on the early game flow, on vehicle balance, and on the in-game progression. So at the start of a match, you will notice a smoother landing experience with a fix for delayed loot spawning. They're also making adjustments to how vehicles behave and are countered. So tanks will be easier to track when nearby, while all transport vehicles will be tuned to be less effective in sustained combat and with reduced effectiveness against armored targets and more limited weapon output. And the transport helicopter will also see a reduction in health, helping bring its impact more in line with other options. And to support this, they will also improve the anti-vehicle counterplay. So they're updating the loot found in both the anti-vehicle drop and the box truck, which means that when a tank is nearby, then the loot of the box truck will automatically upgrade to give players more tools to respond. In addition to this, they're also making adjustments to the recon drone, and here they are reducing the zoom level and they will increase the cooldown. And on the progression side, they're introducing changes to how XP is earned during Battle Royale matches. So missions will provide more consistent rewards, reducing the gap between mission completion and world-based actions, but they also lower the overall XP required to level up. And of course, as mentioned before, there will be ranked Battle Royale introduced with Season 3, and this will start in quads first, and then later on they want to bring it to other modes, but also to the normal multiplayer. And additionally, what we can also expect to see in Season 3 are Battle Royale solos, but this will not be available at the start of Season 3, but it will launch later during the season. So they will be sharing more details on what we can expect from this in a later update. And that was it for the community update so far. Now, at the beginning of the video, I also said that Temporal has posted something, a leak, or I think he did some data mining on the latest Battlefield Lab session, at least that's what he's writing. And here he says that this session included notable changes to vertical and horizontal recoil across all full auto weapons in Battlefield 6. And the biggest hits in each category are an increased recoil amount on the KV-9, TR-7 and CZ-3A1, and a bigger recoil variation on the VCR-2, SG-553R and the SCW-10. And then below, Temporal has also posted this picture right here, which basically shows how much more recoil all the weapons have, how much more recoil variation, and so on. If you're a weapon nerd and you want to dive into this, then be sure to do this. I think for the most part, it's just interesting that they're working on something, obviously, to increase recoil amount and variation, especially across the weapons that are pretty strong right now. And yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.